In the previous episode, we mentioned that two aspects need to be examined in order to gain a proper understanding of the Shi'i concept of Imamah: the nature of their appointment and the nature of their office. Our study of the nature of their appointment revealed a startling fact, namely that appointment of the Imams, according to the Shia, is the same as appointment in Nubuwah. In actual fact, it is considered to be even greater. Let us now look at the nature of their office. The Shia bestow upon the Imams all the perfections and accomplishments of the Anbiya, and even more. It would be impossible to document here all the narrations that deal with the status of the Imams, but it might be just as informative to quote the chapters under which they have been documented in a source that is described as a veritable encyclopedia of the knowledge of the Imams. Biharul Anwar of Allama Muhammad Baqir al-Majlisi, widely reputed to be the greatest and most influential Shi'i scholar of the Safavid era. During his lifetime, he occupied the office of Shaykhul Islam in Isfahan, capital of the Safavids, and even to this day, his works are indispensable to the Shi'i clergy as well as their lay public. We quote here the name of the chapter, as well as a number of narrations he documents in each chapter. The Imams possess more knowledge than the Anbiya, 13 narrations. The Imams are superior to the Anbiya and the entire creation. The covenant of the Imams was taken from them, the Malaika and the entire creation. The major prophets called Ulul Azm attained the status of Ulul Azm on account of loving the Imams, 88 narrations. The du'as of the Anbiya were answered because they invoked the wasila of the Imams, 16 narrations. The Imams can bring the dead back to life. They can cure blindness and leprosy. They possess all the miracles of the Anbiya, 4 narrations. Nothing of the knowledge of the heaven, earth, Jannah and Jahannam is hidden from them. The kingdom of the heavens and the earth was shown to them. They know all that happened and that will happen up to the day of resurrection, 22 narrations. The Imams know the truth of a person's fate or hypocrisy. They possess a book that contains the names of the inmates of Jannah, the names of their supporters and their enemies, 40 narrations. Let us now examine a few Shi'i narrations regarding Imamah and the divine station the Imams hold. Imams govern and have control over every particle of the universe. In Hukumatul Islamiyah, Khomeini writes, "The Imam enjoys such power over the law of cause and effect, and place of worthiness and position of eminence, that every particle of the universe bows before his power and authority and obeys his commands. The Imam is higher in rank than angels, prophets and messengers." Again he writes, "Among the essential and fundamental beliefs of our religion is the belief that our infallible Imams hold a station which could not be reached by any favorite angel, prophet or messenger. Before the creation of the world, the Imams were the light and effulgence surrounding the highest heaven. Besides God, no one can conceive of their station and nearness to God." And again, on the same page, Khomeini says, "The traditions and reports before us definitely prove that the great prophets and Imams were the light and effulgence before the creation of the world. Then God surrounded the highest heaven with them and bestowed upon them such rank and station that only He knows it and no one else. The world cannot exist without an Imam." Abu Hamza relates, "I asked Imam Ja'far as-Sadiq whether the earth can exist without an Imam. He replied, if the earth is left without an Imam, it will sink." It is narrated that Imam Baqir said, "If the Imam is taken away from the earth even for an hour, the earth and all that is on it will shake like waves that rise in the ocean." Ali radiallahu anh said that all the angels and apostles had affirmed for him as they had affirmed for the Holy Prophet, and he will send people to heaven and hell. The aforementioned tradition further tells that Ali radiallahu anh used to often say, "I am the person who on behalf of God will award paradise or hell to people. I possess the staff of Nabi Musa and the ring of Sulaiman, and for me all the angels and Ar-Ruh had made the affirmation as they had for Muhammad. All the deeds of men are presented before Imams. It is related that once Abdullah ibn Aban, who was close to Imam Rida, said to him, "Please pray for me and for members of my household." The Imam said, "Do I not pray for you? By God, your deeds are presented to me every day." Imams know the hour of death. Their death is in their control. A chapter in Usulul Kafi bears the title, "Imams know when they will die, and their death occurs at their own decision." The Imams are the lords of the world and the hereafter. They can grant whatever they like to anyone. In Al-Hujjah of Usulul Kafi, there is a chapter entitled, "The whole earth is the property of the Imam." In it, it is stated that once replying to one of the questions of Abu Basir, Imam Ja'far as-Sadiq remarked, "Do you not know that this world and the world beyond belong to the Imam? He can grant whatever he likes to anyone." The titles of these chapters and its narrations create quite a vivid impression of the narrated material upon which the Shias based their faith. The office of Imamah can thus be seen to incorporate more than just the political leadership of the Ummah. The Imams are more than just heads of state with a divine right to rule. They are the repositories of every branch of knowledge and perfection possessed by the Anbiya. The existence of the world depends upon their presence. They are the intermediaries upon whose intercession acceptance of the prayers of even the Anbiya depends. Their office is one that combines political, religious, scientific, cosmological, and metaphysical supremacy over the entire creation. From this one can understand the reason for Khomeini's statement in the book Hukumatul Islamiyya, upon which rests the entire philosophy of his revolution. It is of the undeniable tenets of our faith that our Imams possess a status with Allah that neither angels nor messengers can aspire to. One would not be blamed, after listening to the above, for reaching the conclusion that Imamah is more like divinity than Nubuwah or even Khilafah. When the doctrine of Imamah is such a pivotal concept upon which, let alone the salvation of men, the very existence of this world is dependent, one would justifiably raise the question, is belief in such a concept justified and upheld by the Qur'an? Surely a belief of such momentousness, an article of faith with such far-reaching consequences, that supersedes even belief in the Anbiya, must be rooted in the Qur'an, the book which was revealed by Allah, تِبْيَانًا لِكُلِّ شَيْءٍ وَهُدًى وَرَحْمَةً وَبُشْرَى لِلْمُسْلِمِينَ. Unfortunately, the Qur'an is completely silent upon this essential tenet, failing to hint even at its existence, as we will explore in the next installment.